Dun, 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 Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the rerun. Because of the sad difficulties we had with Steam, we are back up and running again. The European Racing Series Grand Prix here in Russia. The weather is going to be the same. We are going for a short qualifying. I don't know why it said wait. I was waiting for that. There was a very long delay there where it said lap 1 of 99 for a minute.
Endurance racing! That's because you broke it.
Yeah, but we are doing short qualifying again. We had a rundown of the predictions earlier as to what we thought was going to be the top 1, 2, 3. You actually went... I mean, I'll give you the opportunity to fix it now that you know he's back. So I went with Mizzo P1, Mizzo P1, Jon P2, and then Mark P3, I think I said. Was that what I said?
I can't remember.
I think that's what I said.
It was about 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, it actually was. It genuinely was 5 minutes ago. So, yeah, Mizzo P1 was for me. Jon P2, Mark P3. I think he's going to have a pace. He tends to have it when it comes to the qualifying. Honestly, he's really, really quite fast, but I've not seen his race pace yet here in Russia, so we'll see. We'll see.
We will see, indeed. I'm no longer streaming, so I am going to actually do driver names on my track map. I can tell you where people are. I can't run track map in streaming, it just makes me a little bit too much. Maybe I can turn things down. So I will have a track map up and running for you in a moment.
Right, well, I mean, everyone except 2 people are currently out on outlaps at the minute. You got Beaker and Dennis who are sat in the pits. Everyone else is out on outlaps at the minute. I'm on board with Jon at the minute. I think he's going to be the first one of 2 land. I don't think there's anyone actually near him. So he should have free air, providing that no one comes out in the pits. Actually, Beaker and Dennis has just got out ahead. So
it is Jon. Jon will be the first man. I can confirm that. I've just seen my track map.
Perfect. Like I said earlier, Jon has got incredible pace. Overall, to be truthfully honest, when it comes to the qualifying, you can rely on him to deliver the good solid times. When it comes to actual race, he also delivers there too, and he's about to do that now. So I'm going to do the rundown today for the track. So here's that little kink on the right side. That's turn 1. Believe it or not, it is barely a turn, but it is one. It is a DRS straight all the way up towards turn 2. It's a really hard braking zone. Brake just before the 100 meter board. Get yourself down to gear 3 and then clip the inside apex. Get the exit for turn 2 and then in towards turn 3 and now 4. 4's the long left-hander. This one here that we're doing.
That's turn 3.
This one's turn 3.
This is turn 4.
Turn 4 there. Now we're on to turn 5. Coming up, brake around about the beginning of the curb. Get yourself down to gear 4. Clip the apex nicely. And then you carry on round. Barely even want to touch the apex on turn 6. You want to run wide so you can get a nice wide entry into turn 7. Then back over to the other side of the track. Stop on the safety car box and clip the apex there. And now immediately run round into this little run here. This is the most crucial corner, turn 10. Guessed it. DRS swing wide open. ERS obviously mode 4 right now on well, it's not really a straight. We call it the isn't straight. It's not its official name, but we call it that. Brake really hard. Get yourself down to gear 3. Clip the apex quite nicely. Gear 2 if you're really losing turning speed. Get a nice solid run through this. And now brake right with the skid marks out there. 15. And now you're in 16 and 17. Guessed it again. Nailed it.
No, that was 16. That second one.
16. And now up to 17. And now 18. And the final corner. Will he actually get 130? Oh, he's outside it. 130.12. Not bad. Not bad time at all. Definitely very respectable time. But, doing well.
Yeah, there's 2 corners down the back straight officially. 11 and 12. And there's no second corner in the second corner, if that makes sense to you. If you're still on board with you on that. Left kink doesn't really count. But Mizzo has smashed it already.
Honestly, Mizzo is insane. His qualifying pace is just ridiculous. His race pace is also really solid as well. I think his main issue, he just seems to have like a lapse of concentration partway through the race, and then you'll see him like lose a little bit of time or whatever. But over that, he's really, really solid. I think if he can just maintain that on a more consistent basis, he would easily win far more Grand Prix. He's got that natural talent. He just needs to refine it a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a track that's not going to be very forgiving on you if you make little mistakes. Yes, okay, the walls are far away. That's not your problem. The problem will be penalties, and they will come thick and fast as soon as you start making mistakes. I wouldn't be surprised if we see someone here today getting more penalties than they've completed laps at some point.
Yeah.
Early on.
Like we were saying earlier, there's so many corners where you can get them. Unbelievable amounts of corners you can get them. Like almost every corner. Yeah, even a straight can give you it. So, yeah, you got to watch out for it. Oh, I was watching Dennis there. I was wondering what his line was.
Here's a line?
He didn't. He completely just ignored turn 2-3. Turn 2-3.
Which turn?
The 2-3, the actual 2-3. Because 2-3 is all one, isn't it? Because you got a right-hander and then a left-hander, so that should be 2-3, technically.
That's all part of turn 2.
It's terrible.
You can call it 2.5.
Alright, 2 and 2.5. Alright, let's get your predictions in the chat as well. Then let's see who's going to have the most penalties at the end of this Grand Prix. That's not including anyone who DNFs. Anyone who DNFs does not count. You can only count the ones that finish the race.
That rules backs out.
Beaker? I was about to have a guess who my pick was going to be for the person who's going to get the most points. Have a guess.
Is it going to be Beaker?
It might be.
Okay. Good luck.
Who's your guess for the person who's going to get the most penalties?
Apologies, I'm still trying to write some names. Brownie's got too many letters. To be focused. If Max finishes, it'll be him.
That's the reason I didn't pick him.
There's a big if on that. Dennis.
Ah, I forgot about him. Yeah, Dennis is. I mean, I like Dennis. I actually really like him as a guy, and I think when he isn't making mistakes, he's a really quick driver. But he's just too inconsistent. He does make a lot of mistakes, and I think ultimately, it's going to be between him and Beaker, if I'm honest.
It's Max hands down if Max finishes.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a big word there in that sentence.
Yes, it's a big little word.
If Max finishes.
Anyway.
He's currently just gone through turn 2.5, now into turn 3. Mode 3 currently on his ERS, coming into turn 4. I don't know if it... invalidated. I had a feeling it invalidated in turn 2. It just looked like on the exit for 2.5, he just kind of ran it a little bit too deep, and that was the main problem. So off he goes again. And, there's an indication immediately. He got that one invalidation. If he's not really going for the fastest lap he can do, because we've got 10.5 minutes remaining of the session. Track Evolution's still yet to come into play here, and I think ultimately, if he's making these mistakes now, wait till we get into the race.
Yeah, well, he did alright yesterday in terms of avoiding penalties to a certain point. But, yeah, I mean, Jorn did well until got to the late race. He was penalty-free till about 5-6 laps from the end, and it all started to come down on him. Fortunately, he managed to hold on for the win, but still plenty of penalties to his name. Yeah, Lou's out on a flyer, despite the fact it says an out lap. It is a flying lap, and should see where he ends up momentarily. He does have a pumpkin on his head, though.
Who does? Jan? No.
No, you Lou. Oh, you heard the yawn, did you?
I did hear the yawn. I marked it right down. Lou crosses the line, goes 132.285. It's still pretty tight, to be honest. Like the mid-pack, if you look at Max and Beaker, they're almost the same time. Which spells disaster, let's be honest. But we'll keep an eye on that as we go through the race. 410's clear is Mizzo on Jorn. He's actually out on a hot lap right now, is Jorn. Let's see how he's faring. But I do want to go on board with Mizzo, actually. And I want you this time to do a lap rundown.
Mizzo. Right then, as we're coming up towards the final club of corners, going to get himself set, a little bit of traffic ahead of him. And just giving it as much air as he can. Especially, I think that might be Scotty, so it's not Max. He's slightly safer. Gets that power down, keep it on the left-hand side. DRS coming open any second now. There you go, throw it through turn 1. Don't run too wide because you can invalidate there. That strip on the side can be your doom. And you can also pick up penalties in the race. Hard on the brakes, thrown into the right. Keep it as straight as possible going through the left-hander of turn 2, and then the long left-hander of turn 3. Keep it kind of on the rumble strip, but not too much on there because you might lose the back end. Through 4, taking as much of the curb as you can before you get disqualified or discounted. Through turn 5, you look quite aggressive on that corner, but still right up against the wall. Don't really worry about turn 6 into 7. Again, very on the limits there was Mizzo. Through turn 8 and 9, keeping it on the right hand side. Now throw it to the left, coming to turn 10 hard, braking. DRS takes point 100 metres from the corner, and DRS coming open shortly after the exit. There we go. And through the long right-hander of turn 11 as we approach turn 12, turning and braking. Difficult corner if your name is Carlos Sainz, that's for sure. Mizzo does all right and gets to slow down in time as you go through 13, back over to the right and throw in left as quickly as you can through 14. Keep on the right into 15 and 16. And careful of the wall on the exit at 16 because that can catch you out just there. It comes out quite suddenly. 2 corners left then, 17 and 18. 2 rather similar corners, and the start-finish rate is very early after the line. And it is there. And it is an improvement of 0.3.
I mean, that's madness, isn't it? He's 7/10 clear of Jorn, who I've predicted P2. I mean, he's currently living up to that prediction. But, I mean, that's madness. My P3 prediction's just gone in the bin. Literally, he's DNF'd, sadly. So P13 is where he sits right now. Brownie's the only driver who's not yet actually put a time on the board. He invalidated, I think, both attempts at trying to put a time on the board. Oh, there's Mark. That's a very, very binned Racing Point car.
What did I mention on Hot Lap? Be careful of that wall on the left-hand side. It comes up quite quickly.
Yeah.
And Mark's just proven it to us quite well there. And he's hit it.
Well,
Brownie has now started a flying lap.
F's in chat for Mark, but yeah, Brownie going for it now. Needs to actually maintain. I want to see him go through turn 2 and 2.5 because let's be truthfully honest. That's the area he's been struggling. That one was clean. Probably a little bit slower than he necessarily wanted it to be, but still clean. That's ultimately what it comes down to. Keep an eye out through now in turn 4. Don't run too deep. Yeah, it's going all right. All right. You know, I'm going to look away so I don't jinx him, but I think he's going to do well here.
Well, I was saying earlier, it's such an easy track to invalidate. I mean, we can sit on a hot lap and just go, you can invalidate there, you can invalidate there, you can invalidate there. We almost need a sky pad so we can put little circles around where he can invalidate.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, the real question is, how many corners are there on this track?
18.
And that's how many corners you can get penalties on?
Except for number 11 and 12. And 6.
I'm sure you could get penalty in 11 and 12 if you tried hard enough.
I'll tell you what,
right-handed here later. 11, right?
No, that's 13, and then that's 14. This is 15 and 16.
I'm sure you can get 11 and 12. We'll find it. We'll have a look.
11 and 12 is the back straight. The first part of the back straight, the long right-hander is 11. The little shift to the left is 12. And the first part of the chicane is 13.
Well, Beaker coming towards the end of his hot lap. Brownie did get a time on the board, and it is a 1:31.395, so only 0.05 of a second, a bit less than that actually, between him and Spicy. Good time from him. Needs to improve that a little bit more. Even 1/10 will immediately put him up into P2, and Beaker, yeah, 1:31.421 puts him P6.
Spicy, where's he? He's just started his flying lap going up towards turn 2. Long way to go for him. I think he's the only man. Lou's just started as well, so Spicy is going to be your next man to put it in a flying lap. And we'll see how he does. I do love the turn 2, 3, 4, especially on the opening couple of laps. There's so much action through those corners. I don't know if you remember a race. It would be surprised if it was about a year ago now. On Russia, you were taking part in it. There was a massive accident at turn 1.
Oh yeah.
And you sort of just coasted through all the carnage.
Yeah.
And it's not the first time I've seen that actually. And Spicy's cutting corners.
I very much was wearing brown boxes that day, guarantee you.
Well,
yeah, Spicy still going actually. He looks really slow though. He's 3/10 up somehow, almost 4/10 up. Oh, he's got that. That's it. There you go, it's invalidated.
He's already invalidated. Now he's cutting corners.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Dirty bastard.
Whoa, language. Jorn though, on another hot lap, has got to improve by 7/10 if he wants to take pole, which is just insane to even think about. I mean, he only has to improve by 300ths of a second and a bit more if he wants to get ahead of Yonti, who they actually have a lot of situations where they battle on track a lot, and I think they're probably about as close in terms of pace as you could possibly get. The difference being, though, Yonti is far more consistent. I think that's ultimately Jorn's biggest downfall. He does tend to get himself in situations where he just can't quite handle it, as you Amcast or smash your desk, but Copy going for it. You did what?
I just nudged a fork, that's all I did. I picked up a glass and I hit a fork, alright? I can Amcast smash it on stream if you want.
Nah, thanks. Oh, Dennis!
Dennis!
No, the rotation. He hits the wall. That's him out. Oh, that's unfortunate.
He completes the lap though.
I think that was his way of signing that lap off, wasn't it?
Oh, Copy. No, Jorn's the next man up. Let's just see where he is.
I think he may have just invalidated. He looked like he just rode that curve far too much on the inside. Yeah, he has. He's in pits, look. That's him done and dusted.
So who's next up? Duxie B. Is he on an out lap?
He is.
Well, he's not on a flying lap then. It is that time though.
It is. It is the time before. The time where we have the calm before the storm. That's the words I was looking for. I thought I saw it in there for a second, but it's not. It's just dirt on the screen. But yeah, everybody's in the pits currently getting themselves set up for their final push, choosing the right tyres. I mean, looking at it, everyone's going to be on softs, interestingly enough, because as far as I know, softs disintegrate on this track. Duxie B, though, is currently going for a hot lap again. You got a few others that are coming out of the pits as well. 1:31 is the average times across the board right now. 1:30.5 though is the time to beat, and currently no one other than Mizzo is looking like they're going to beat it.
Mizzo's boss in this series, isn't he? He's 7/10 clear of Yonti already. He doesn't even need to come out. I don't think so. I mean, Duxie B's just backed out of his lap, so he'll be doing another one. Max is just come out, so he's not on a fly. Just trying to keep an eye on who's on fly. Absolutely no.
Okay. He's on a fly.
He's just started yet.
Yeah, early into it there. This is the corner that's catching everybody out, but he's actually got away with it very cleanly.
Yeah, this turn 3, the long left-hander is... Yeah, it's a great opportunity to overtake. You get the drive off turn 2 and try and hang around the outside, because then you've got the inside of turn 4, but it's the dirty line on the outside of 3, so it makes it a little bit difficult to take that racing. Calm down, Fraggiaco. Okay? I'm watching Fraggiaco try not to hit walls. His teammates have already done it, and he's trying to follow suit.
He's currently got Copy though. This is actually going to work out massively for him, unless Copy just dives out of the way, which he's not. Fraggiaco's going to get a little tow. Copy's actually doing... He's getting a lot of tow. Look at this. If that doesn't help him, I don't know what will. He's really gained from that one. 43 seconds remaining of the session, so there's not that much track evolution left yet to do. Fraggiaco breaks fine into the corner, keeping it all under control. Oh, our tail was getting a little bit excited, I think, but it's still tidy enough. Final sector. Watch out for that wall on the left. We saw what Mark happened. That was sad news for him. Final 2 corners then. Doesn't invalidate on the first one. Lou's retired. Doesn't invalidate on the second one. And across the line goes P4, 1:31.347, 2,000 faster than Spicy.
Keep your eyes on Jorn. We've got 10 seconds. He needs to cross the line in 7. Dixie's not going to make it. 2 corners left. He's not going to get another lap in. He's missed out by about 3 seconds there. That is harsh on Jorn.
Who's next?
Next up is Mizzo's coming towards the line. But he's backed out. He's not going any faster. Icy, I think, has backed out as well. He's in the wall, so he's not going any faster. Yonti's coming around in sector 3, weaving and sliding towards walls. He's done then, I'd say.
Yeah.
Duxie B's your next man up, if he's on a flyer.
Fraggiaco's retired, obviously, because he's just done a lap. Duxie is not looking much faster. 300ths of a second faster is what you said there in the top right for a split second. Is it going to be enough? Yonti's obviously retired from session. Top 3 is currently sorted as it stands, unless someone pulls off a miracle run. We're looking at Brownie, we're looking at Beaker, we're looking at Copy. They're the sort of guys that could do that. Potentially even absent from Max. If Max gets a killer lap in, which at the minute he's done 1:32.048, so he's got a lot to improve on. If he wants to get up there, here comes Duxie. Does improve, just beats Dennis. 4/10 up, actually. So well done.
He's done. He's in the wall, facing the wrong way.
Max has missed the pit, and he's back in.
Copy then. Next man up. What can he do? It's all a bit sort of... Everyone's pushed too hard on their final lap and invalidating. It's kind of anticlimactic. Copy holds P... I jumped up to P8, actually.
Brownie's in, that's it. It's done. Oh, maybe Absinthe. Where's that? Oh, no, he's already playing the wrong way, wasn't he? So, yeah, that's it then. Mizzo takes pole position here by some... I mean, it's been brought down. Beaker, actually. I didn't even see that. Beaker knocked it up to P2, look. Very well done by Beaker then. 131.069 is his time. 131.224 is the time behind, but Mizzo is just looking untouchable. So when I ask you in a second then what your top 3 predictions are going to be for the race, I'm pretty sure we're both going to have the same P1 because it just seems like it'd be illogical to choose anything else.
Yeah, I think the only thing that can ruin that is weather. Penalties, anything. Based on how far he is ahead, half a second. If you can do half a second per lap, there's 27 laps here. Yeah. I think he would cover off any crazy penalties he picks up. But I don't think you can look away from him. No,
definitely not. So here's the qualifying rundown then. So Mizzo is pole position, 130.514 is the time that he set. Then just over half a second is Beaker there in P2, really well done by him. Yonti there, his teammate in P3. Yorn in P4, Fragioco P5. His teammate actually crashed out quite bad style, who's going to run out of the top 10. But we do have Spice there P6, Brownie P7, Copy P8, Duxby P9, Dennis crossing the line in style in P10. Max best of the rest, actually in prime position for a really good solid strategy. If he does go for the hardest compound tyre and then switches over to the softer later on, then that could really benefit him. But then you got Lou, Absinthe and Mark. They are the final runners. Mark actually did a lap and then crashed out in very, very big style.
Yeah, he didn't realise there's a ball there. But it is now race time. It is looking clear, but there's sort of a haze to the sky, isn't there?
I have been told it's going to be all clear throughout, so I don't think we're going to be seeing any hint of rain, which is good into an extent. We might see some DRS in overtakes and, you know, at least dry tyre strategies. That's what I'm more keen to understand. Max is in prime position to do that. I say that, but the thing Max really needs to focus on is when he's great in terms of normal pace, right? He doesn't really struggle in that area. It's when it comes to attacking and defending. He takes the most strange lines, and it really compromises his entire race overall, and ends up being, quite often sent to the stewards as a result. So if he can control that, if he can bring that under check and actually just focus on the long game, he could actually really do well here. Could even get himself in the top 5. I genuinely believe he has the pace to do that. It's all whether or not he can just keep it under control.
Well, so, yeah, Max is one of those drivers that can win it or lose it for everyone on the grid, really. But talking of winning and losing, is there anyone other than Mizzo who can win this?
Nah, no way. The only way Mizzo doesn't win this is if he DNFs. Even with penalties, he's going to just pull such a huge gap. I can feel it. I think Mizzo's going to be laughing so long as he doesn't get taken out or make a mistake and kill himself.
Lose second and third then?
Yeah, that's the bit that I don't know. Beaker's great right now. He's done a lap that put him up in P2, and I think his lap pace would suggest he can do that. But he's the sort of guy who at the same time is very often caught out. He'll get into an incident somehow, somewhere on the track, and then that ends up just costing him even more than before. And it'd be nice to see him make it to the end. I'm going to apologise, Beaker. I love you, dude, but I don't think you're even going to finish in the top 3 today. I do think it's going to be Yonti and Yorn. I think it's going to be in that order. I think the only way it changes is if Beaker can just somehow keep it under control and maintain race pace. But again, same sort of situation. You see when they go into the pits, they get the 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he's just too privy to that.
Yeah, this is not an easy pit lane entry track. It's because of how it is quite open. You can quite easily extend track limits on the entry. I did see it yesterday. Someone got 6 seconds of penalties on the entry alone. Yeah. How, I'm not quite sure how you managed that, but it's quite impressive to see. But in terms of my predictions, Mizzo's obviously going to be taking the win. Second place, I'm going to give to Yorn. Third place, I'm going for Fragioco. I love the man. I want him to get third here today. Hasses are going to trip over themselves.
Okay.
With penalties or potential pit stop blunders.
No, I disagree.
Trying to pit at the same time was something silly. I know they've got an engineer that'll take care of it, but I still don't think they're going to get top 3.
Okay, well, here we go then. So everybody is in the, on the home straight at least, preparing themselves for the attack on the grid. Get ready for it. Prepare yourselves as Mizzo is going to be leading us away with this Grand Prix. The lights are on, and as soon as they disappear, we'll be getting underway with the Russian Grand Prix, and there is no delay, and Mizzo is already away. And I think Beaker's took off. Look at him right there alongside Mizzo. He's got his full car ahead. Beaker is on some next level rocket pace today. Yonti's been caught sleeping a little bit. Jon's jumped him. Jon's actually getting his nose stuck in there a little bit as well. Is he going to go for the inside line? He's not. There's no contact between those. So a little touch. Oh! Fragioco!
Oh, no. And Duxie, both having 2 separate incidents. And there goes my front position, but Beaker still having the lead. Jon in 3rd. Jonty in 4th, Brownie's in 5th place on the back of these guys. And actually, Mizzo is looking racy. It's lap 1. He is looking like he wants to get back into the lead. He's not happy about this.
I mean, it doesn't help the fact that Beaker just locked up as well, and you can see the P1 position just right there, again, back in your hands. And initial mistake there from Mizzo, straight off the line. I think that was ultimately I think he just caught him out how quick that line was going to, the lights go out, or at least he just released, I don't know, in a terrible manner, but he's on the back of on the back of Beaker. Mud 4 engaged. Slipstream obviously being fully utilised as well. He's not really going to get any other way of doing this. There's no DRS yet until lap 3, remember, but he's burned a lot of DRS so early on.
Well, he's kind of had to. He's got to get past Beaker. He's stuck at the moment. He's just, he is stuck. He needs to get past Beaker. He knows he's got the race pace and now needs to get ahead. I believe Copy was also involved in the opening corner incident because he's dropped 4 places and is off the pace as well.
Yeah, he's in the pits.
He's got front wing damage.
So Beaker holding on to race lead at least for now. Mark and Dennis swapping places. Mark up to P7 now. I think he actually started quite the way down, didn't he? Yeah, look at that. 7 places gained. Some really good stuff from him. We'll keep an eye out for him as we come along the race. We can see actually there's Brownie. Looking for an opportunity on Jonty. He's going into it. Oh, he's made a mistake. There's a little bit of touch there from Jonty into the back of Brownie. But they're still tied together and there's still no damage on Jonty's car. But Jonty falls another place. He can't afford to keep losing it like this. He has to go for it.
Yeah, Brownie went full send there and caught Jonty out. Slightly off track, I think, on the end. But he still took it and has it.
Spicy had to look for the inside of Jonty. It didn't work out for him. And then Mark was immediately looking to pounce as well. He couldn't make it work either. But he's still here, still going for it. Mark has that pace, remember. He's just being held up at the minute by Spicy. He could go for it. He just currently has to wait for lap 3.
Interesting enough that Mark went for soft tyres from the very back. I would have thought you'd go with the mediums, go with long opening stint, turn up the wick at the end. But he's trying to stick with the front runners strategy-wise, and he's sticking with them pace-wise at the moment as well. Jonty's got a little bit of lag potentially there. He's got the 3 empty bars of doom, I'm going to call that, that avoids any lag. And Beaker's still having the race lead at the moment.
Yeah, I'm keeping a firm eye on Mark. I'm also keeping a firm eye on Brownie, because if you look at the gap between him and Jon, I mean, now it's pretty marginal, but it was getting quite large when we were going down that home straight. But now, here's lap 3. DRS is enabled, and you're going to see Mizzo going to be attacking straight off the bat. He's under the half a second margin, which means you can actually attack in towards turn 2, although he's just a little bit too slow in comparison right now, mainly because he's in mode 0, so he's not going to be attacking right now. I think he's going to wait a little while, but keep an eye out further downfield. Max is on the back of Dennis. No change just there. Where's Fragioco? He's obviously going to the pits and come back out again, all on medium, so they're going to keep it tidy for now.
Oh, Duxie hitting a little bit of slide. Interesting enough, the Copy came out on hards, looking to try and get to the end of the race on those. I wonder if those will be possible. I don't have data for the hard tyres. I have data for the medium tyres, and they're looking alright so far.
Look at the gap between P3 and 4. It's now 1.1 seconds. Obviously, he's outside of DRS, but now that just flags warning signs for Brownie immediately. He's struggling on the same tyres as those ahead of him, and he's got the likes of Jonty and Spicy and Mark and Dennis and Max all there ready to go. They just haven't got an opportunity, but now Jonty does.
You say he's got an opportunity, but this isn't the prime overtaking opportunity that you think it is. This is the closing up opportunity, or ridiculously dive opportunity. He's going to sit in the back of Brownie now for the next few corners, rest of the sector, and then we'll make that attempt on the home straight. Brownie, in the meantime, needs to somehow pull a lead on Brownie, or at least somehow conjure up half a second and get on the back of Yawn.
Yeah. Keep an eye on this battle for P3 as well. Battle for P1 all the way down to P3, because the gap has actually got quite large between Beaker and Mizzo, and Yawn's actually just lost that amount of time as well. So again, no overtaking opportunity just yet. I don't think that's actually going to change as it stands, but keep an eye on Yonti, who is ready to pounce on Brownie. Brownie's gone defensive in towards turn 2. He's not going to get the move done at all just yet. Max might be in a position to go for it. Is he going to send? I don't think he is. He's a bit too far back, and nobody changes positions.
Not yet. Anyway, we're still too closely bound. It's needs some more gaps to start appearing, or drivers to close up. Yonti's right on the back of Brownie, looking to go down the inside into 4. Backs off for now, but he is showing intent.
Yep.
Well, he just needs to send it sometimes, don't you?
Yeah,
You're sitting
really
here waiting for that opportunity. Sometimes you just need to go. That's half an opportunity. I'm going to go for that. Unfortunately, that's the sort of thing Max does, but he does that all the time. Most of the time, it's not even a whisper of opportunity, and it doesn't end well for him. Hopefully, we won't see that this race, and hopefully, he'll give us a nice, clean one.
Oh, he's going for it. Oh, he's on the inside there of Dennis. There was almost contact between the two, but now he's in a much better position to attack, and he knows now he has to go. Look at the gap. Dennis 1.6 behind. Mark ahead, and there he is. Max going for a nice clean slide down the inside. That's probably the best line to take. Is Dennis going to keep himself out of the back of him? He is. Good solid braking zones from him there. Yonti though is lost out.
Oh,
Yonti's lost out massively. He just lost 2 places in one corner.
Yeah, Mark and Spicy going side by side. They're battling each other. That's going to went badly for Mark. Oh, Spicy nearly putting Mark in the barrier there. That was flashbacks to qualifying for Mark. And Spicy needs to get past these two to get back onto the rear of Brownie. Spicy won't have DRS here, so Mark should have the easy overtake. Will Yonti be close enough to take the overtake as well? We're about to find out. Mark is looking for that overtake up ahead. Spicy's going defensive. This is opening doors here for Yonti. He's got Max on his rear. Max is going to go full send it. He's gone full send it. Gets the racing penalty. Doesn't get anything else. But Spicy and Mark still going at it up ahead.
Oh, look at racing. No! Mizzo, no! Mizzo! He just went down the inside and caught Beaker's back end and just put Beaker off into the wall. Oh no, it looked like it was just a bit too much. Mizzo wanted it so desperately, and it cost Beaker the entire race and a front right wheel to go with it. That is sad times.
Annoyed I missed it.
I caught it at the right time. Oh, Mark getting a penalty as well. Dennis following him as well. That's not good for Mark, or Dennis for that fact. Dennis has done well though to get past Max again. So I don't know. I didn't see where he did that at. I can only imagine it was going through turn 3 into 4. But yeah, it's a big sad.
Yeah, well, it's just almost gifted the race to Mizzo, but he's actually dropped back behind Yawn in all of this, which is kind of beneficial for him. For Yawn, he's benefited quite a lot from that. He's got the race lead and got rid of a rival.
Yep.
But further behind, we've still got a battling going on as Max is trying to get past Dennis. Dennis a little bit hesitant coming off that corner. Max is not a normal place to go for an overtake through there, but he's eyeing him up like he wanted it. Oh, Max's back end sliding about. Is he burnt those tyres already? Well, he's on medium, so he should have done. But Dennis is on softs, and those softs are now starting to hurt. And Max slides on by, up to P7 he goes.
Yep. I managed to just catch the incident right as it happened. It was so marginal, and you can see just about how it went down. Mizzo just sent it into this corner coming up in turn 4. It was a minor touch, to be honest. It wasn't like he just like full on turned into him. He just caught the back end of Beaker's car, and that was it. Beaker was a passenger from that moment there, and again, hard wall on the right side in case you're wondering, but Dennis is going to Max. Big send is going to run a little bit wide, going to send Max off track as well. Max is just about going to get himself back in this. He's actually going to stay relatively close to Dennis, so when the tyres start to come back to life again for him, which Dennis is currently falling apart on, he actually might be able to go for it on that long straight. Well, the long isn't straight.
Yeah, we're actually getting towards that pit window. I expected it around 8 or 9, maybe to 10. Depends on how they're doing. So we are getting firmly into that window. I fully expect we'll see some pit stops. Maybe the first pit stop this lap, if not next lap.
So Dennis is still defending against Max. Max didn't go for it. I don't know if he's just managing his tyres a little bit better, but it looks like Max is actually using quite a sensible head today. He's not actually. Don't get me wrong. He's made it look like he's going for overtakes, but that's quite smart from him, to be honest. Faking out a little bit to suggest you're going to go for an overtake down the inside and make them go defensive, make them keep their eyes locked on the mirrors, and that's a good suggestion.
But at the same time, are they having to take evasive action because they know it's Max? And they know his history?
Potentially.
If there was any other driver, would they be reacting the same?
I mean, it's a tough one, isn't it? It's hard to really say, oh, well, Max is going for it again on Dennis. That's a nice little overtake there. I can't get a good camera angle on it, but Dennis might get the cutback. He just loses the rear a little bit. Same for Max. They're both fighting that rear so hard. Oh, look at Dennis going down the inside into turn 3. Really solid stuff there. But Max is going to have the inside line for the next. If he can keep himself alongside it, we're going to see a repeat. I don't think we are. They are wheel to wheel. There is a little bit of touch in there, but nothing more. Dennis manages to retake the position, and a very squirrely, very fiery Maxi behind him.
Well, they're both quite squirreling, both quite fiery. It's Frederick is retired. Where is that? Pit lane. Don't worry.
Ah, okay.
Well, that's one Ferrari out of the race. He's not had the best race, Frederick. Maybe I jinxed him putting in P3, but I did feel confident with seeing him sitting P5 on the grid, but it's just not worked out for him here today, as Max is now making moves once again on Dennis. Got the inside through 12 and then the outside of 13, but he's already through, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, good overtake there from Max again. Nice, solid, just standard DRS work. Obviously, the tyre situation is about to start to come into Max's favour. Like you said, the tyres are going to start crumbling a little bit. Mark is actually looking for a move on Spicy. Backs out again, not quite ready for that opportunity. Duxie's got past Copy, obviously he's AI. Now the fight is on for P3, because look, P1 is quite the way up the field. P2 is right there, 7/10 behind. But look at Brownie trying to go defensive, trying to protect himself from Spicy. But Spicy's also being chased down by Mark. Yonti's not really going to do much about this, but I don't know if Spicy can close in enough. He's not. And look at that, benefit Mark quite considerably.
Look at that ERS of Spicy. It was from like 3% on the straight. Mark is sitting on 65%. Spicy's now on 8%. Brownie's on 40%. Spicy needs to do some huge saving work if he wants to have a chance of coming back at them, because as soon as we hit a straight, Yonti can shift to mode 4 and go, see ya, as Brownie runs very wide, comes back on, no problems there, but it's a little bit of dust on those tyres. It's not going to help him at all. That's more signs that these tyres, these soft tyres, are starting to fall away.
Oh no! Oh, I thought that was it. I thought it was going to be a done end. That's Marker just slipped down the inside there. Spicy getting a little bit aggressive. He's going to be holding him out there. Spicy's brought himself back into P4, but Marker's got the better line. He's going to have the slipstream as well. Yonti right on the back of this fight as well. He could easily capitalise on either of the mistakes from any of these drivers. Marker's got to be defensive because he can't catch up to Spicy. That gives Yonti the inside for the first-hander, and now the right-hander goes back to Mark, and there's contact. Mark has lost control, and that's where Yonti going to fly on past him. Mark getting aggressive, trying to just hold on as much as possible. No wing damage though, but Yonti's through, up in a P5.
Yeah, Mark's still trying to come back. He did go full ham into the back of Spicy there. And is Mark coming in the pits, or is he blocking off Yonti from going to the pits a bit, maybe? It does take the place. Yonti might have let him through to benefit from the DRS, but is Mark going to get it anyway?
Oh,
no, he's
lead
not.
Changes. Mizzo's in lead again. So Mizzo, nice simple DRS overtake, nothing too drastic there at all. Mark about to be attacked by Yonti. Mark hasn't got DRS. Oh, he goes defensive. That was a very late move, but it was safe. There was no damage between them, no touching at all, and Yonti ends up not gaining that position. Yon is really fired. Look at him going for Mizzo.
He's got to now, isn't he? They are racing full out now. Yon could go for the undercut if he comes in this lap. I think he should have come in last lap. Do whatever Mizzo doesn't, should have been the command to him.
Yeah.
Mizzo stays out, you come in. If Mizzo goes in, you stay out. I do have data on the soft tyres. We are approaching not a lot of grip levels, for the technical term.
Yeah. I mean, the thing to focus on, though, is that the gap between the top two and Spicy is increasing. I mean, it's actually just decreased by 0.2, but it just kind of suggests that they're still managing pace. There's not really any problems for them, but I agree with you. One of them needs to pit now, as soon as possible, and just do what the other one doesn't do. But I think, realistically, now you're at a position where you both have to pit. I don't think you want to sit out there a little bit longer. I wouldn't be surprised if they both dive in. I think Mizzo might go for a late move into the pits. No, Yon's in though, so Yon has heard us. He's decided now it is time to go. This is where I think Mizzo's going to lose out quite drastically here. When Jon switches tyres to do the remaining 17 laps, I think Mizzo will just be too slow on his in-lap. Let's see.
Well, Spice is also in, Mark's also in, Yonti as well. All the soft runners other than Mizzo in. That tells you one thing. You should have come in this lap. Where is Jon coming out? Is he coming out in the same position, or has he been held up a little bit? He's coming out in the same position. That's good for him.
Yeah. Got good margin as well to those drivers behind. He can just shoot off now. 6 seconds almost. There you go. 6 seconds is probably where it's going to come out at. 5.1 maybe actually. Or is it going to stay? Yeah, 5.1. All right, we'll leave it at that. So 5.1, good gap regardless.
What do you think about there? But yeah.
Absinthe though, he's 6 seconds off of Max.
But they're on different strategies at the moment. So they haven't pit. They'll be coming in around probably 18, maybe 19 to 20, that sort of range, for a nice quick sprint at the end. Don't want to leave it too late on the softs because you need to make up ground. But at the same time, you don't want to leave it coming too early and end up a lap short of your grips. But we'll see. Mizzo's sector time, middle sector time 33.56. Let's compare that to Jon when he gets there. But Mizzo's actually going towards the pit lane now. Is he coming in?
Yeah, he's in.
Yes. So what's Jon's? Jon did a 33.3, so 2/10 off in the middle sector alone. That doesn't include any time he gained in the first sector because I can't have an accurate reading on that. Or in the last sector. So we'll soon see where it is Mizzo. He's trundling down to his pit box at the very end.
The first sector would be impacted for Jon anyway, because obviously he's in the pit, so it would be a slow one regardless. But the second and third would give you the main indicator, but this one is where we're going to see it. So where's Mizzo? He's on his way out. Jon is coming in hot. He's got the DRS wing wide open as well. This will actually help him close in. There's Mizzo, and he's past him. Yeah, he's got him. I mean, it's tight. They are still together, but Jon has done the undercut, and it's worked out beautifully for him.
Yeah, he just needs to get past Lou as soon as possible and get an extra car between him and Mizzo. If Mizzo can not overtake this car for a few corners, that would be wonderful for Jon. So just give him another half a second lead, but Lou's made a little mistake, and that's just allowed Mizzo straight through. Or maybe Lou just went, I'm not getting involved. You guys can race. I'm just getting out your way. But Mizzo is still right back of Jon. The only thing going for Jon now is his tyres aren't quite warm enough just yet. They're going to be hitting their operating temperature right about now anyway, but he's just got a little bit more heat in those tyres. You have a little bit more grip. About 10 degrees of difference in temperatures, actually, if you wanted to know.
It's actually quite useful information because I mean, Jon's tyres should be feeling so much more comfortable than Mizzo's. I mean, it won't take the Mizzo long to get them up to temperature. In fact, they're probably almost there. But he does now have the issue that Jon is ahead and he's 6/10 ahead, and Jon could actually just dump everything to just take off. Look, 8/10 now. If Jon breaks that 1 second margin, he could manage that gap. Ideally, you want to get to around about 1.2 initially, then you start conserving one more time. Oh, look how close he is, 9. I think we've already gone past the detection line, haven't we?
No. You wait. Detection line is coming up any moment now. I think it's almost at... Yeah.
I think he's outside of it. Oh, he's got it.
He's got it. He's very late activating, though. And he's only just... I mean, we're talking probably about 1,000th, maybe 100th inside that gap. And that is really helping close over. You see, he was about a second. Now he's gained 2/10 on just that with the slipstream and that DRS.
Yeah. So Jon still looking good though, still 8/10 ahead. Now there's no DRS in this area of the track. He has the opportunity to pull away. He's not though. He's sat in mode 0. I think he dumped a lot to try and break that DRS zone earlier. Now Mizzo's trying to just close it in that little bit more, and he will do that with the fact that he's dumping as much DRS as he is to just break it up a little bit. But Jon's actually managing it really quite well. 8/10 is where it's sat currently between the two of them. Mizzo will get DRS. Oh, no, if he does that though, that's a very wide line through there. I mean, he's going to get DRS still. Yeah, he's got DRS still, so he can still work on bringing his gap down a little bit. And he's actually gone for mode 4 just to try and help that a little bit. Considering how close he was last lap in the final sector to not getting DRS, I think that's a very smart move from Mizzo to just dump that a little bit extra and bring yourself now half a second.
But Jon is on the edge of getting it from Absinthe as well. So if he can close up 6/10 in these final few corners, well, he's going to, he will get DRS across the side of the finish line. He doesn't want to pass him, but he doesn't want to sit behind him that he gets hindered. That's the thing now for Jorn. And he should be okay, so he's just going to dip under 1 second as we go around the final corner. Detection point is somewhere along the start finish line. I don't have an exact reading for that, unfortunately. But no surprise, Mizzo has gone fastest. Spicy's looking quick there as well.
Jorn did get DRS, and that will help defend, obviously. Bringing him, and he's got the slipstream as well, which is going to work out massively.
Oh, that's an easy overtake. No, don't worry. Ignore that. Spicy's got past Lou with an easy overtake. Lou's on a different strategy.
I mean, look at Mark, Yonti, and Lou, though. They're all just teetering over that 1 second margin. Mark's just broke into it. Obviously, they didn't have DRS earlier, but Yonti now is working his way down. Lou's only half a second off him. Not that he's going to have the opportunity to do anything. Jorn is actually 3/10 away from Absinthe. And Max's gap, whilst it is going to be looking good for him later on, like you said, around about lap, I think realistically, if you want the best strategy, you want to go lap 2021. Look at Jorn already sizing Absinthe up. Oh, he almost went into him. That was close. He needs to get past him as quick as he can.
No, he needs to wait to that so he gets the DRS down the straight. That's going to help him as well.
Yeah, but look at Mizzo. This is why he needs to get past him as quick as possible. Yeah, you got DRS, and yes, you're going to be able to defend it. Yeah. But now, ultimately, you've not gained anything now. You've not really...
You might lose a place, actually, if Mizzo goes for it. No. Well, the thing is, you can't get past the car that doesn't want to let you past sometimes on a windy part of the track.
Yeah.
It's all well and good saying you need to get past him, but if he's taking the racing line, you can't get past him, particularly the early part of that sector 2, where it is corner after corner. Yes, there's little straights, but unless the guy in front of you gets a massive amount of oversteer, you're never getting past. Yeah. So, yeah, Jorn is now going to come under pressure from Mizzo. Gap is about 6/10, just over 6/10 now, coming off the final corner. 7/10 now as well. He's done a good job, has Jorn. He's obviously dumped a lot of VRS to achieve this. But Mizzo will now start pulling him in.
Jorn seems to have found a really good exit strategy through that final corner. He just seems to be able to get an absolute stonking exit. He gets into a situation where Mizzo just can't even catch him no matter what. I mean, yeah, Jorn was still using ERS in Mode 4 as well, but Mizzo had DRS to work with, and that is huge. I mean, I guess to a degree had Slipstream as well, but not being a great deal because it was quite a distance back. But still, it will have a little bit. So the fact that Jorn is still able to pull away like that is a really good indicator that he's got that final corner just hashed out.
Well, we are sort of around the halfway point, so let's do a quick penalty rundown for you, shall we?
Go for it.
Max sitting in the lead at the moment with 3 seconds. Jorn and Mizzo both with 0. Absinthe with 3. Spicy and Yonti with 0. Mark and Lou both with 3. Brownie with 0. Dennis with 6, unfortunately. And Duxby and Copy at the back with 0. Copy, I believe, still disconnected, isn't he?
Yeah, he's AI, yeah.
Yeah. But, so, we haven't got that many penalties, surprisingly, but I think once it comes towards the end of the race, the last 5 or 6 laps is where you're going to see penalties flying left, right and centre. As all people are coming towards the end of their tyre strategies, the wear is dying off on all the tyres. People start sliding about, getting pushy. Those places, that's where the penalties are going to start flying.
Yeah, Absinthe comes in though. He's one of the first. He's the first, sorry, from the medium runners to jump in, get some softs on.
Damage.
I wonder if he's going to try softs. He's trying it, but that's going to just kill his race.
Wing chain though.
And his wing actually, he's got end plates. He looks okay.
He has 19% damage.
I think that's marginal, given. I mean, realistically, as long as your end plates are there, you're fine. I don't think you don't need to worry too much. You still need to worry, obviously, but you know. Providing your end plates are still there, that's the main factor. That is what helps you massively when it comes to turning speeds. So he should be okay. He probably won't even notice that he's got wing damage. My worry is he's not taking those softs that far. There's no way he's taking the softs to the end of the race without puncture.
Well, we'll find out. I'll keep an eye on him. Particularly if you've got front wing damage, your aero is going to be a little bit off as well. So you're going to get more tyre wear as a result. And, I mean, he's just come out on these tyres. I'm looking at his numbers. We've just done, what was that, turn 4, turn 5. He's already at 5% wear on the rear tyres.
Wow. That's not good. Oh, Brownie, what's happened to Brownie? Oh, he's made a big mistake. That left wing is in bits. I mean, he got a penalty, but look at that. Oh, no, that's not how we want that to pair out for him. He's going to be P9 as it stands. He's going to have to chuck himself in the pits. There's just no way now that he's going to be able to take this car to the end of the race comfortably and stay in the points. So, Ultimately, he's outside of it regardless. Could stay P11, sorry, but it's going to be a lot of work for him to get himself back into the points. He's going to lose so much time. Mizzo, though, is half a second, 6/10 now. Look, and this is what I'm saying again. The way that Jorn exits the final corner is just so key to him keeping what is effectively a net race win. He's got P2 right now. Max has not yet pit. He's going to pit probably, I think he's going to pit lap 20. I don't think you want to take your tyres much more than sort of 8 laps, realistically. So I think lap 20, lap 21 probably going to be the time that he's going to jump himself in the pits. The question is, though, if he does, where does he come out?
Ronnie's retired. Is that a pit lane retirement? Yes, it is. That's him saying, I've had enough of this. He had a bad day yesterday. He's had a bad day today and has had completely enough. But I think Max stopping around 20 is potentially too late. I'm thinking 18, 19, so you can get a good run on those soft tyres. You pit too late, you're not going to get full use out of them. And with the less fuel weight in the car, I think he'd be better off just waiting or coming in a little bit early than you suspect. But I'll keep an eye on Duxby actually. He's down there in 10th. My numbers suggest he's going to the end on these tyres.
That's... Well, I mean, he's doable because he's already done the pit, hasn't he? He doesn't have to worry about anything else. And if Max... Let's have a look at the gap to leader right now. So what is it, like a 23-second pit window, I think, here, thereabouts? So if that is the case, Max will pit and come out just ahead of Absinthe, who's going to be on fresh softs... warm softs by the time Max comes in. And then Max will just pull away. Duxie B might gain on Absinthe, but realistically he's looking at P9 at best. Yeah,
I mean, Duxie B's tyres will be... I mean, my number says he can do another 20 laps, which is hard to believe when you think about it. And he's done the entire race minus 1 lap on a set of softs. He's obviously very good on these tyres, but all it takes is one slide or one overdoing it on the accelerator and those tyres will be shredded. So he's just going to be quite careful if he's going to try and go to the end.
So look at
Spicy.
Well, actually, just park the brakes 1 second, because if you look at Mizzo and Jorn, the ERS differences are phenomenal.
Wow.
Jorn has actually lost out a fair bit of time between the two. I mean, Mizzo's managed to stay within DRS range and managed to get his DRS down to, get his gap down to about 6/10, which is where he's been hovering around anyway throughout the majority of this race. And now he's got 98, 99% ERS. You look at Jorn, he's in 38, and he's already dumping it to get away from him as much as possible. Doesn't have DRS on Max, although he's now within that gap, so he will have it on the home straight. I think when Mizzo turns the wick up to 11, I think he's gone.
Well, Jorn hasn't got within range of Max just yet. The problem is, if he catches him too quickly, he won't get DRS. If he doesn't catch him fast enough, Mizzo will pass him before he gets there, and then get DRS from Max to pull away from Jorn. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And Max is in the pits. He's going for 10 laps. So, a little only I suspected by 1 lap, but still, could be interesting to see what Max can do.
Jorn doesn't get DRS either, so Mizzo's coming. In mode 4 as well. Won't be attacking just yet. It's just a bit too far back for him to even think about doing that. But he's really put himself into the attacking position now. Look at this. Right on the back of him. 4 and a bit tenths behind him. Could easily just maintain this throughout. Jorn hasn't really got an answer to this. And that's ultimately going to cost him quite considerably. Max obviously coming into pits, coming out on softs. Lou's coming in again on the mediums and has decided it's time to change. Goes to softs as well, I can only assume.
No, this is first stop for Lou.
Oh yeah, of course. That makes sense.
So Max has come out ahead of Absinthe by quite a margin. So P7 for Max and has it all today. I think Max has a shot at a podium here. But the one thing we've got to remember, this is Max. And he's not immune to mistakes. He's not immune to picking up penalties. And he's not immune to contacts. So he has a potential to get a podium here. He just needs to be British, keep calm and carry on.
The other thing I think Max needs to do is just maintain actually what he's been doing so far this race, which is just keeping a very cool, level head about it, staying very focused on the long game. And honestly, so far, he's really impressed me in terms of how much he's learned. Yonti, though, on the back of Spicy, 3/10 as it stands. He's going to be maintaining this, at least for now. Looking at the ERS levels, again, like you said about Spicy, 13% is what I saw before he went into the braking zone. He's now on 16, and he's already dumping it to get to the final 2 corners. So that's Not really the area of attack you want to be on. You're already in the firing line. 4/10 means you're pretty much going to lose the spot right now. Especially when Yonti does that. Flicks it to mode 5, goes to mode 4. DRS swing wide open. Nothing Spicy's going to do now. He's just going to have to hold it as much as he can into the inside of turn 2.
Spicy, it's flicks down to mode 1 at 3%, but still holds position, but the big lockup. Yonti comes through. Yawn.
Oh. That's
a game changer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be the one to pass in judgment, but I think Mizzo's probably going to get something from the stewards from the Beaker incident. So I think Yawn still probably has net race win, but it will require the stewards' involvement, so it can't really bank it on that. When it comes to the penalties, though, yeah, Yawn is currently out of race win position. Mizzo can just cruise a little bit and pull away.
Yeah. We'll do another penalty rundown. Probably a lap 23, 24, that sort of range. Before the checker flag falls, so we know how people are standing and see how they're going to get on. But Mizzo is all over the back of Yawn. What can Yawn do now? I think the answer to that is not a lot. In all fairness to Yawn, Mizzo is coming.
The best scenario for Yawn now is that he battles Mizzo just enough to put Mizzo into a compromised position where he gets himself a penalty. I think that's probably the best thing, but you also have to do it in such a clean manner that it's caused by Mizzo's mistake. But Yawn defending. Again, look at Yawn just rocketing out of that final corner. Mode 3 for Mizzo. I don't know if he's decided he's just going to sit behind him. That's interesting.
Spicy Yonti, similar situation. Spicy's 10% on that ERS. I mean, Yonti's not much better. He's in the 20s, but Spicy can't turn it up to mode 4 to close in as Max, no surprise there, goes fastest.
Yeah.
And it's 2.8 off the back of Dennis.
Honestly, Max is doing a really good job right now. He started P11, is up in a P7, so either way he's gained places and he's in the points position. He just has to maintain a solid level of pace, cleanliness, consistency, and just stay focused on that, you know, counting down the laps, counting down the lap times, and just working on coming as close as you can to Dennis, and then work on Mark, and then maybe if you've done enough, you might be able to get Spicy. I think ultimately, P5 is probably hopeful. I think P6 is probably where he's going to sit.
Well, yeah, I mean, at the moment, the two people in front of him have 6 seconds of penalties each, and Max only has 3, so he will benefit from that. There'll be less pressure from him, from those two behind when he gets to the checker flag, but we're still only on lap 20 and 27, so he may pick up another penalty. Don't pick it up there, Max, before we get there. And as we mentioned earlier, Max is not immune to slightly odd things, we think, but I'm sure he'll be happy if he can actually get P5 or P4 today. Be kind of an achievement for him.
Here we go then, race lead. It's about to change. Mizzo's decided this is the moment I've been waiting for. This is the lap to do it on. Lap 21 of 27, race lead's just switched over physically to Mizzo, who's now going to be taking the reins for a little bit. Yawn's going to have the opportunity to just conserve, and he's actually done quite well considering he's been attacked by Mizzo. Actually, scratch that. Here he goes down the inside, says, all right, Mizzo, that's fine. I've seen the fire, but look at the flames as I come flying into turn 4, and I'll be taking that position back from you. Thank you. Oh, there it is. That's now Yawn's game changer. He's now effectively race win even without the steward's involvement. He just has to maintain the pace or gets another penalty.
Yeah, Yawn was very close to that corner. He just came right across. Looked like all 4 wheels off track as well. So he's got to be careful. He got the penalty first, so you think about it, he's more likely to get the next penalty of these two.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's guaranteed to get it. All it takes is one mistake from either of these two. And they got it as Mizzo very late on the ERS again. Maybe I think he's adjusting things. I forgot about DRS, sorry. And Yawn is under a lot of pressure now. Yonti has pulled out over a second from Spicy. That's good news for him. Pushing
and
himself.
That'll allow him to just sort of break away a little bit now. I mean, he's just teetering on that limit, but if he can actually stay outside that 1 second margin, he can actually conserve ERS a little bit and just prep himself. Use Sector 2 as the opportunity to just pull that gap a bit further and really work on them protecting for the home straight. Again, though, Mizzo is in mode 4 again. He's close, but But he always gets such a good exit through final corner. I don't know if Mizzo's going to... I mean, it's going to be a big send if he does. You can see him lining it up. Look at the pace he's chucking in, but he backs out. He knows it's just a bit too aggressive to try it in there. He's already had one contact session earlier with Beaker. Let's now have another one. He's decided he might try the yawn line. Yawn's defending it though because he knows it. That's my line. You're not allowed that line. I'm going to hold that through turn 4 as well. And it's going to stay as is, at least for now.
I thought that was Mizzo getting another penalty. You saw the M come up going, oh dear. But that is Mark there in 5th place
9,
with
right?
Another penalty. Yes, it is.
I mean, Max now, what suddenly earlier looked very difficult to achieve, he's now, as soon as he passes Dennis, he only has to brake a little bit more than that and just get himself within that 6-second margin, a bit under the 6-second margin, sorry, and then, yeah, he's done it. That's P5. It's good stuff. Well done, Max.
It's not over yet, though. He's got to get past Dennis first.
Yeah, he's got DRS. He's in that position. If he keeps it controlled and just attacks on the home straight, he's done it.
By tyre wear numbers alone, they are very similar now. Percentage-wise gone, there's only a few percentage between them, so you can't immediately say, well, Max has got better tyres. Well, his tyres are just as worn as Dennis's. They've lost that extra grip already. He now has pace that he's got to try and get past Dennis, and it's become a little bit nullified. It's not... I mean, he's guaranteed to get past anyway. It's just... I'm sure he'd like to actually pass him on track and then try and close up to Mark, who's not too far away. He's only a couple of tenths out of Max's reach. But I think Max should have him on the home straight. Mizzo's looking close to the yawn once again. Nothing of it, and nothing coming of it this time either.
No. I think Yon may have found the way to hold this. My only worry is, though, he's really, really, really running low on ERS now. He's just brought himself back into the 20s.
There goes Max. Although, Dennis goes late into the corner. Oh dear.
Oh, no. Oh, Dennis! That was an aggressive move. Max came over to try to protect the outside line, but he's actually left himself vulnerable as well. After that contact, Dennis is going to slip down the inside. Max is going to hold it around the outside, and now the inside into turn 4, but Dennis runs seriously wide and off track. And I guess you could say that's an illegal overtake. Oh, he's backed off a little bit to allow Max back through. Oh, another touch. Where's Max gone? Oh, he's back on track. There was a proper touch there between Dennis and Max.
Yeah.
And that's Max off.
A little nudge on Max's rear from Dennis that's just pushed him a little bit wide. Max is now back down to 7th. Oh, sorry for hitting the microphone. Max is back down to 7th place and 7 seconds off the back of Mark. And let's see the outcome of this straight. And I'll do a quick penalty rundown for you after this, assuming nothing major happens. But Yorn and Miz are coming up to the final couple of corners. They might be having an overtake for themselves.
Max is sending it deep into the inside. It's going to push Dennis wide. It's also cost Max's stability through the exit, but he has got the position done. Max now up in a P6, needs to maintain tyre wear. That would have took a lot out of his tyres throughout the entirety of that battle. Dennis has sent it. Max made a mistake. Oh, Max manages to just hold on. This is getting very fiery between the two. And Dennis has gone deep. Max has gone deep. Dennis is on the inside, and Max is back to square one again and has to do the whole lap one more time.
Well, he's got a few more laps to do it in, so was it a tactical switch to try and benefit from DRS? It'd be odd if it was.
Well, no. But look at the time.
It's not odd.
Well, look at the time between Mark and Dennis.
Yeah, I mean, it's now increased to the point that you can't catch him up.
Yeah.
But if you're going to let him through for DRS, you at least got to make the overtake, and he was nowhere near. So it was a strange move. I think it might have been a mistake on Max's part.
Yeah, I think he entirely just ran a bit deep into the corner. I don't think he intentionally meant for Dennis to get the position back. If he did, yeah, it was a very bad move. And I think ultimately he'd already lost that gap to Mark earlier anyway, just when he came down to all that contact he had with Dennis, which caused him to just run wide. I don't think that was actually Max's fault, if I'm honest. I think it was just Dennis going a little bit turned in a little bit more, and Max obviously ran a little bit wide. But a racing incident there. They're fine. They're going for it. And here comes Max.
Max has just gone purple in Sector 1 as well to go with it. He's fired up, to say the least. And Dennis, is he going to go for it here? He's closing in. And backs off for now. Quick penalty rundowns, I don't think... Oh, hang on, actually. This looks like there's some fun up front. Because Copy is now benefiting Yorn. So Yorn is actually getting some DRS off Copy. Mizzo can't come through because he's just nowhere near. That's actually benefits Yorn, that.
Yeah. But he doesn't have to pass him.
Not yet, anyway. He may have to through post-race penalties, assuming he doesn't get another 3 seconds. Max is sizing up Dennis, though. Again, this one's close.
Yeah, it is actually going to be much easier this time. Dennis is coming across him, defending him fairly. I think he's just trying to give him that very difficult line through, and actually you could see the line that Max had to take there. It was a very tough one to pull off, but this is allowing Dennis to ride around the outside. Max is trying to squeeze him, actually touching him. That's caused Max to rotate. That's the mistake that we were expecting at some point. And Max, he was looking good. He was looking great. And then he went back to old style Max, just trying to do more than is required, and that's cost him.
Yeah, so quick penalty rundown for you. We're on 25-27. Current race leader Jorn with 3, Jorn 6, Mizzo 3, 3 for Yonti, 0 for Spicy. Mark and Dennis both have 9. Max has still only 3, Absinthe with 6, Lou with 12. Duxby just coming to the pits is on 12. Absinthe was on 6, not 12. I can't remember what I said. And Duxby's on 3, and Copy, he's an AI, but he's still on 0.
Yeah, and he's not going to gain anything. He's 44.8 seconds behind Duxby's, and he's also still... I know, he pit really early on and actually went on to hard, so he's just going to take it to the end. But Mizzo coming for Jorn now, looking so fast right now, going for the inside line towards turn 2. Jorn is going to go around the outside of him, actually. He's going to try and do the same thing he did earlier, which is just hold the inside line. Mizzo has actually lost the position effectively, unless he could stay alongside Jorn, which he can't. Look at the way that Jorn's just flying through there. Mizzo again, back down into P2. Jorn's got that line, and you thought that Mizzo would have learned by now. Don't let Jorn have that inside line. He's going to take that position back every time you leave it open.
Yeah, Mizzo's running a little bit off line there as well. The last thing Mizzo wants at this point is a 3-second penalty. Yes, okay, he may face the stewards after. We don't know. I didn't see the incident. I can't even judge on that one. But he needs to concentrate on getting past Jorn, or at least staying penalty free and on the back end of Jorn. That's all he can do now. We've got a lap and a half left. All the pressure I feel is on Mizzo at the moment. I know there's not a lot of pressure, but there is a lot of pressure on Mizzo.
Yeah.
Just to not mess it up, and he's going to make the overtake.
Oh.
And Jorn now, he's got the home straight to try and make that overtake, or is Mizzo going to do the trick I really don't like seeing?
I don't think he is. I don't think Mizzo's going to do it. I think he's going to try and maintain the line. But ultimately, when Jorn gets past him, Mizzo just does exactly what he just did there. He just does it one more time. That's it. And he's got it. He's got him. And realistically, again, Jorn has got more penalties than Mizzo, so Mizzo can still gain on him. But we have got one final lap to go. This is the area where Jorn has to try and figure something out for Mizzo. Has to try and cause Mizzo to make that mistake. But at the same time, needs to just get his car fully ahead of him, just in case the stewards do have anything to say about Mizzo. But here we go, it's turn 2 then. Jorn's got for a full send into it. Mizzo's going to turn into him, send him wide. That's a very aggressive move from Jorn, but I mean, it caused Jorn even more. I think he backed out to let Mizzo back through. Mizzo's backed off to let him
He might have
go.
got a legal overtake. Mizzo might have had a legal overtake there. Had to let Jorn back through, which, considering Jorn's the one that pushed him off, Jorn's let him back through. He knows it.
Yeah. Good guy, Jorn.
Yeah. It's the fair thing to do, although they are... I'm trying to find that they keep swapping places.
I mean, Jorn let him back through again, but that was so close between him and Mizzo. You know, you got to give credit to both these drivers. They were very sportsmanlike in the way that they drove around the track. They showed a lot of sportsmanship in the way that they would, illegal overtake, and Jorn saw that he had to do that, and so obviously just gave him it back again because he knows I was a little bit aggressive from my part. But still, keep an eye on the way that it finishes, though, because Jorn is going to be finishing.
I see. He's just got a 3-second penalty on the last lap, which has denied him a podium. Oh no.
Duxby there. He's going to double his points. So look at that, nice. Fastest lap time as well. No one else is going to be able to beat that. And that's going to really put him in a position. As Mizzo coming up to the second to last corner. Jorn's giving a little bit of a weave. He knows, yeah, my penalty already puts me in that position. I can't do anything about it now. Mizzo, though, coming to the line. And before the stewards get hold of him, he will take the win. Jorn will take P2. Yonti coming up to the final corner now will take P3. As like you said, Spicy just get that one extra penalty. Meant he won't gain that podium now. Mark will cross the line and take P5. Dennis, who is P6, did manage to fend off Max, albeit it was a little bit aggressive. Don't know whether or not the stewards are going to have any words with him or not. But P6 when he crosses the line. And Max will eventually get to the corner. I think his tyres are pretty dead.
They're on 57%.
Oh, there it is.
They're not that dead. He made them dead. 64% rears for absinthe. Oh, and, well, 100% for front left on absinthe.
On my screen, he actually lost the wheel before he touched Max.
Yeah, I didn't see that. That's interesting.
Luke will come around as well. The line.
Join the crash. Or just sort of stop in the middle of the track. Okay.
Yeah. He's having a little play with the wheel there. He's not quite sure what he wants to do. Should I stay or should I go?
I want to see what TV does.
Well, he's already done a fastest lap, so it's going to be a 2-point finish. Regardless.
No, in terms of crash, sorry. That's all I meant.
Oh.
Oh,
I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Don't make me go. All right. Well, that's it for the European Racing Series. And we're going to get the rundown in just a second and see where it is. There's the podium. But the bit we want to see the most is the final standings, which is Mizo, who takes the win. It was a controversial win, and he may end up losing that post-race when the stewards have a look into the incident, but he may not as well, so bear that in mind. Jorn will finish P2 after a really solid run and having really good overtaking opportunities there on Mizo, and it made it such an exciting race overall. Mizo then gets the final spot of the podium, albeit just because Spicy gets a penalty on the final lap, the only penalty he got throughout the entirety of the race, and that cost him that podium position, but he did start P6 and finishes P4. Then Mark started P14, climbed to P5, did get a lot of penalties along the way, but still finishes P5 as Dennis is there in P6, Max in P7 after a major collision between him and Dennis, saw him rotate his car completely. Absinthe there in P8, Lou P9, and Duxie B. Not only did he get fastest lap, he also gets the final points position, and then the rest of the drivers all DNF'd except Copy, who actually had to leave the game for whatever reason. But Brownie, Frajoko, and Beaker are your DNFers of the Grand Prix, and Beaker looked surprisingly quick today. But the most important question of the night, Amkasa, who is your driver of the day?
You can't really give it to Mizo because of the incident. Until you know what's happened, you can't confirm it's him. And if Spicy had podium, it would have gone to him. I think Mark is probably quite deserving of driver of the day. A decent recovery, particularly with first corner or second corner incidents, avoiding all that, and with a big climb.
Yeah, I mean, I want to give it to Mark, but at the same time, he didn't really do anything that impressed me. I mean, yeah, he climbed a lot of places, and that was good, but for lots of 3-second time penalties, you expect a bit better consistency from there. I actually want to give it to Jon. I mean, he really drove incredibly well, and yeah, he got 3 penalties, and that lost him the race win effectively. Ultimately, he might still get it back later on, but you know, I like the sportsmanship for him, and that alone, I feel, deserves the driver of the day award. So from my perspective, he's got it. From your perspective, Mark's got it. But that's it for the European Racing Series. Thank you, everybody who tuned in to watch. It was an absolute pleasure to commentate for you. I've been Ben Regan McConnell, and joining me has been Jamie and Casta Elder. Thank you, Jamie. As always, you are a lad.